What's up, guys? Christian Duke, the Iron Duke speaks. I'm sealing up my Extreme Maximum Pump from IronMagLabs.com. This bad boy right here has got Hydromax, creatine, green tea, citrulline malate, creatine, tyrosine. I mean, 350 milligrams of caffeine. Check it out at IronMagLabs.com today. And right now I've got the Great Blast, and I got it mixed up here. I've been sipping it a little bit. This is take 2. You know, or 3 or 4, what? Who's counting? You know what I mean? We're doing the Iron Duke Speaks. I mean, this is a show that you all wait all week for. So, you know what I mean? I'd be remiss if I put out some piece of junk video. You know what I mean? All right, first order of business. Starting next Monday, in a bi-weekly setting, we're going to have the Greg and Frank Show. That's Greg Valentino and Big Frank Budaleski. All 6'5", 375 pounds of lean, hard muscle. All right, so guys, tune in. All you've got to know is at IronMag Labs, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on Facebook, and eventually whether you're on YouTube, because eventually we're going to have all 3 live formats. That's the vision of Greg Valentino, and whatever Greg wants, we do, because he's the star. You know what I mean? Big Frank Budaleski, he's a star. You know, and I got to tell you something. Being able to do what we do at IronMag.com, to me, as someone that is, you know, into marketing, into production, it's the coolest thing. You know, because I've worked for big companies like Muscular Development. I've worked for, you know, a lot smaller companies like RX Muscle. And the thing is that companies have a set way of doing things. You know what I mean? And it's very hard for these companies to sort of move around, you know, spontaneously. At IronMag.com, you know, it's like, you know, Instagram one week, want to try Facebook? Let's do it. You know, I want to have Nadim in London do an ad campaign. I want to say, okay, Nadim, these are the specs. This is the colors I want. You know what I mean? These are the graphics I want. These are the backgrounds I want. Let's see what we can do. We can do it. Yeah, I mean, I can get on the phone. I could call the owner of the company. I could call him directly and say, hey, what should we do? What can we do? What do you think about this? I can get on a plane. I can go to Pittsburgh. I can go to Erie, Pennsylvania. I can go to New York City. I can go wherever I want as long as I'm promoting the company. And I got to be honest with you, to have that freedom, to have that freedom is huge. And so that's the whole reason that we do what we do. I mean, we have our own message boards at ironmagazine.com. We have our own magazine at ironmagazine.com with over 10,000 articles. We've got IronMag Lab. Oh my gosh, so many websites. We have IronMagLabs.com, which is our company, MuscleGels.com, which is our company, but we also have IronMag, just IronMag.com. That's our IronMag TV website. You could see Greg Valentino, Rick Drazen, Jerry Branham, Comerica Muscle, Christian Duke. You could see Big Frank Budaleski, Chris the Goon Griffin. I mean, they're all at IronMag.com. John Haynoski, King of the Jungle. You know what I mean? Live from the Lion's Den. That's coming up from Erie, Pennsylvania. Arm wrestling, Moto X, powerlifting, fighting, MMA, UFC, all that fun stuff at IronMag.com. So it's like, we're able to do everything we want to do from our own platform. We own everything. We produce everything. We don't have to ask anyone for permission to do anything. Now, aside from the Greg and Frank Show, and I do want you guys to tune in next Monday night, and you know, you can watch on replay, but if you watch live, you can win a prize. I mean, you could win anything. You guys could win a bag of the pre-workout. You guys could win some of the Lean Fuel version 2, which is my personal favorite, the Dream and Grow, the Super DMZ 5.0. I mean, there's so many things you could win. And all you got to do is be on there live. And if, you know, Big Frank or Greg says something like, hey, do you know who won that 1980 Mr. Olympia? And you say, well, you know, Greg, Arnold Schwarzenegger won the 1980 Mr. Olympia. Well, guess what? Big Frank might say, hey, Christian, give that guy a bottle of our Ultra Male RX. And I'll be like, of course, Frank. I just need his address. Boom! And it goes to you. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's kind of cool, I think. Now, today I want to talk about the 2018 NPC Kentucky Derby. That is a huge show. The NPC Kentucky Derby Festival Championships. this Saturday, April 28th in Louisville, Kentucky. I will be there. I will be covering the show. There's a great graphic going around the net. All coverage brought to you courtesy of IronMagLabs.com. Make your mark with IronMag Labs. And I got to be honest with you, it's going to be a fantastic event. Hundreds of competitors all coming to Louisville. You know, the Kentucky Derby is known all around the world. Everybody knows about the Kentucky Derby. And it's happening tomorrow, Friday, April the 27th. There are check-ins at the Galt House, which is one of the nicest hotels in Louisville. And the next day, of course, is the competition. And I'll be there for all 3 days. Check-in Saturday and the day after Sunday. Taking pictures, doing interviews. You can see all that at strengthaddicts.com. Now, the other thing, too, I want to talk about, I've been getting so many emails, guys, so many emails from people, like probably for the last 4 or 5 months, asking me who's going to be the next Rich Piana. You know what I mean? And to me, honestly, you know, I did not want to address this here because I feel like the whole Rich Piana topic has been, you know, beaten to a pulp. You know, it's like anybody has a video out there and it gets, you know, 100,000. Oh, that's the next Rich Piana. Yeah. And anybody goes to an expo and he's got a crazy, oh, that's the next, you know, because he's got a crazy physique. That's the next Rich Piana. You know what I mean? I have even seen it as to where somebody has like a ridiculous haircut or a weird piercing or a weird tattoo or just something that gets people talking. You know what I mean? It's something different. And oh, that guy's the next Rich Piana. Guys, there will not be, to quote Big Frank Budaleski, to quote Greg Valentino, to quote even myself, there will never be another Rich Piana. You mean, so you should just give up looking and give up thinking that someone's going to come around and have, you know, that combination of attitude, realness, love of the sport, electricity. I mean, you know, there was no act involved. You know, I'm friends with Chanel, and Chanel will tell you that was all real. There wasn't like a Rich Piana for the camera and then a Rich Piana for the regular life. That was the guy. That was him. Yeah, and so there's so many personalities, honestly, in bodybuilding. And I know because I've been in it for over 10 years, and I know not just because of the 10 years, because you could be in it for 30 years. But unless you actually know the people, unless you can, like, I don't know where my phone is at. I can't believe it. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Excuse me, guys. I had to take a phone call. Oh, I'm just kidding. Why is the flashlight on in my pocket? That's really weird. But anyways, I could take up my phone and I could call just about anybody. And I could talk to them. And I could say off the record. You know what I mean? So I know that bodybuilders that you see, that you think that you know, have a completely different disposition if they know they're talking to you off the record. And what I want to say about Rich is that I never really spoke to Rich off the record, and he never really needed me to talk to him off the record. There's no off the record with that guy. You know what I mean? There never was. And so what you got is what he was. And so my problem with people that ask me all the time, and see, and look, there's a way to go about asking for press, and I get it. You want an article about you on Iron Magazine. A lot of people saw the article that I wrote about Big Frank on IronMagazine.com. They're like, wow, how can I get you to write? I swear, if I'm lying, I'm dying. I can get struck by lightning right now because the good Lord will strike you anywhere. You could be in like a nuclear bunker and he'll find a way to strike you, okay? But people saw that article and other articles I've written like that article, and they're like, how can I get an article like that about me? What do I have to? I had one guy, and you can always tell if a guy's bullshitting you by if they're looking at you're not a person, you're a camera, but you the camera are the vehicle to get me the person. And I had a guy some years ago write to me, and he wanted me basically to write, you know, some, you know, just crazy article about how cool he was and this and that, and he was offering to pay me money for it. Straight up. And I told him, look, I don't do that kind of thing. There's two things I don't do. Okay, there's two things I don't do. Number one, I don't compromise my integrity. So I will not write an article about someone that I am not impressed with, that I do not look up to, and say that I do. Because to me, that's disingenuous. And for $200-300, it puts my whole credibility as a journalist on the line. Not to mention that I think it's morally wrong, but it also puts my whole credibility on the line, and it's just not worth it. But the second reason I won't do it, okay? The second reason I won't do it, because one thing's the money, okay? And a lot of people think, oh, you know, it's like money, it doesn't matter, you know, you're just making a living. It does matter. It really does matter, because your writing is an extension of who you are, and if you really love it, if it's really your passion, you would never want to prostitute your passion for anything. Okay, the second thing I will not do, and I have never done, is ghostwrite. I will never, ever ghostwrite. And there's some great people in the industry, great writers that do it. Again, it's a way to make money. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you got to keep the lights on. You got to have a roof over your head. You have to have clothes on your back. I get it. But I'm very grateful that I've never had the desperation or the I don't know, just I don't want to judge people that ghostwrite. There's a lot of people in the industry that ghostwrite, people that I really respect, but I just won't do it. I will not ghostwrite, and I will not write puff pieces about people, especially not if they pay me money, because I think that that is a form of prostitution of your trade. Now, I have had people that have read the articles that I have written about people like Truly Admire, like Big Frank, okay, like Mike O'Hearn, like Ron Love, and they want an article like that. And guys, you're not going to get an article like that, at least not from me, unless I'm truly impressed with you. And this is a problem that we have in the fitness industry, and this is why I think that this hysteria, this just incessant search for the next Rich Piana, this incessant search for the next Dallas McCarver in the competitive bodybuilding world, to try to milk, to try to... There is only one Dallas McCarver. There was only one Rich Piana. There was only one Sergio Oliva. I mean, you've got to be your own you. Rich was not trying to be, Mike Matarazzo. He wasn't trying to be Momo Benaziza. He wasn't trying to be, anybody but himself. And see, that I think is something, good takeaway message for this video. Probably the most important takeaway message for this video is don't copy other people. I mean, I still remember, and there's nothing wrong with following a trend from time to time. I don't personally do that. I've never followed a trend just because I've never considered myself to be like sheep. I just haven't, even with clothes. What I wear now is what I was wearing, 20 years ago. T-shirt, shorts, T-shirt, jeans. I mean, I don't, The only time I think I ever considered wearing what everybody else was wearing, I think it was like in 3rd or 4th grade, and they had Cavariccis. Those like MC Hammer pants. And that was it. That was the only time I ever thought about doing that. But it's just not my thing. But remember when Dana Lynn Bailey came out? I remember when she would cut her shirt up, Andy Hammond would do the same thing, cut up a shirt. And everybody at the Olympia, everybody at the Arnold Classic especially, because I've never been to an Olympia, I'm going to go this year, but everybody at the Arnold Classic, which I go to every year, looked like Dana Lynn Bailey. The same cut, short haircut, the same cut up shirts, doing the same, greetings. I mean, those are robots. But was Dana Lynn Bailey copying anyone? No. Was Rich Piana copying anyone? Nope. So I think that it's futile to think about who the next Rich Piana is going to be, because it's simply not going to happen, And then B, I think people should just be themselves and do what is right for them. And if you have something like an eccentricity, just keep doing it. People will try to get you to stop doing it, and because people don't like what's different. But what's different, truthfully, is what sells. Because nobody is going to get popular doing what everybody else does. Rich Piana took a gallon jug of water and slapped a 5% on it and was selling those like hotcakes. It was a gallon bottle of water you could get at Kroger. You could write 5% with a marker if you really wanted to. But that was not what people wanted. They wanted his bottle with his 5%. Because it was part of a movement. See, when you're the first thing I think is that you have to be different. The second thing is you have to live that different. You've got to live it. It's got to be real. And then once you do that, if you have good people, solid people around you that can market it, then you're gonna do very well. And the most important thing is to be positive. Because Rich Piana was positive. He never buried anybody else. He never went out of his way to destroy anybody else's company or to trash anybody else or to backstab anybody else or to, none of that. None of that. So That's hard to do. That's very, very hard to do. I mean, it sounds like, I mean, on paper, like communism, you know, on paper, communism is great, man. I would love to live in a communist country on paper. But, I mean, within 5 minutes of implementing all the dreams, you find out you're living in a pretty fucked up place. And you're like, well, how the hell do I get out of here? Like, you know, 99.9% of the people in North Korea are like, how the hell do I get out of this place? You know what I mean? Because it's a shithole. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to, you know, really implementing it, you know, like if it's something different, if it's something like, you know, one of the things I always loved about Rich Piana was the music was always loud. You know what I mean? The lines were always ridiculously long. There was no, I could tell you off the record, but I can't tell it, you know, there was none of that. I mean, when he walked around the expo, he walked around like he owned it, but you never got the feeling like he was going to attack you, or you never got the feeling like these were violent people. They were badasses. They were bigger. They were stronger. They were faster. No, just kidding. But it's like they were always approachable. You could always talk to them. They had a very, very unique thing. What's interesting, though, and this is with all due respect to everyone involved, but if you remove Rich and you put someone else there, it's not going to work. It's not, you know, it's like, you know, in that example, I think it would be safe to say that it wasn't about the team so much as the person. It was kind of like, you know, I kind of look at it like this. Because, look, I'm up to like 16 minutes. I'm nowhere near done. I look at it like the championship bowls, okay? Now, you ask Jordan, you know, they ask him, were you the best player? He says, I played for the best team. Because, you know, he had B.G. Armstrong, he had Scottie Pippen, he had Luke Longley, you know what I mean? He had Dennis Rodman. You know, he had, you know, there was a lot of talent there. Robert Parrish was there for a season or two. So they had a lot of talent. They had Phil Jackson. My gosh, what a great coach. You know, I mean, there was a lot of things, but truthfully, it was all Jordan. And when you took Jordan out of the equation, I think they might have won one championship maybe with Pippen, but I don't even think they got that one championship either. I think they came close, but I don't think they got it. So to me, that's kind of like what 5% was with Rich Piana. You know, Rich Piana was surrounded by a great team. You know, he had Paulo, he had Big Frank. You know what I mean? Of course, he had Chanel and he had Jane. He had a good team around him. But if you removed Michael Jordan, or if you removed Rich Piana, then you had a great team, but you didn't have really a leader. You didn't have like the face. And so, would they be successful? Sure. Could they hang with the other companies? Sure. Would they be the number one? No, no way. And that's really, I think to me, and I think that might be the title of this video. You know, Rich Piana was bodybuilding's Michael Jordan, and I think we'll leave it at that. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Till the next week, this is Christian Duke, the Iron Duke. Sorry, guys, I'm choked up whenever I talk about